Hey guys, welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're gonna be watching Flipping 101 with Derek Mausa. And I'm gonna give you some of my own personal experience based on this information. Let's get started.
The key to flipping is you want everybody to fall in love with the inside of the house, and then the rest of the house they can like.
That was a great tip, by the way. He says people need to love with inside of the house because everything else could be done. And that's the same mentality that I have. The first thing people do when they walk inside the house is they see the house. Well, first and foremost, before you walk into the house, you wanna make sure that the front of the house looks very, very well done. And the minute you open the door, it's like a wow factor. Everything else doesn't matter, but that's how people fall in love.
So I would just clean up everything as much as I can, trim everything back, and just make it presentable and save as much money as you can.
Okay.
What is this? There was nothing wrong with it, and it cost you thousands of dollars. It's gonna affect your bottom line. You would have made thousands of dollars more if you would have left it as is and cleaned it up. What I'm saying before, it was kind of a cool, unique yard. Now, the first thing you see when you walk back here is a block wall, cars driving by. Look,
Look at that.
when I've noticed that before. So the point of the 51-49 rule doesn't mean that you can do anything you want just because you're 51. You've spent thousands of dollars that you didn't have to spend. Honestly, like at this point, the only way to bring privacy to this yard is by building up the fence.
Yes.
Most people, when they buy a house, they're gonna move in and they're gonna pay top dollar. They're gonna be looking at these little things. Like when they get in the backyard, you want privacy. People want privacy. When they open this whole thing completely, like he said, now you have cars, you have traffic, you see a school. So that was a bad decision on them to just cut everything out without thinking about how I could clean this up, but I still keep the privacy.
So list price time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's amazing that they did this house in 5 weeks. The only way that you could do a house in 5 weeks that they probably won't show here is you have to do a heck of a pre-construction phase. Now, what is that? Pre-construction phase is that you have to basically do all your plans. You have to have everything ready to start construction. You have to have your team ready. You have to have a schedule. You have to have your permits. You have to have everything ready so that when you start construction, everything is lined up, ready to go, and try to avoid unforeseen issues. Try to avoid delays that you don't need. Try to avoid decisions making through the construction because all that will cost time. So they did a fantastic job at the pre-construction. I wish they would have shown that so you guys could see what I mean by pre-construction. For sure, to do a house in 5 weeks, great pre-construction phase.
So you paid $465 for the house. And how much was the total construction?
A little under 38,000.
That is just incredible. You guys did this thing for under $40,000.
The only way they did this under $40,000 is because most likely they did it themselves. They bought the material, they physically worked on it. There's no way you could do a house like that for $40,000 if you're gonna hire a whole team of people to do it. Let's see what they did because I haven't seen this.
So let's just say we'll call it 40,000. That puts us at 505,000. You had 6,000 in carry costs.
Yes, for the
All right.
right. Yeah.
So that puts us at 511,000. And what is the commission going to be when you sell it?
With about $12,600 around there. Yeah.
So we were at 511 plus 12,000 is 523. So your break even is $523,000. That is very, very, very impressive.
There's a lot of information that it didn't just add up to me. I have no idea how they only spent $40,000. They didn't really show the scope of work that the house needed to do. So yeah, if you're just gonna basically paint the walls and add a kitchen, okay, $40,000. But if you're gonna go ahead and do like a full remodel, what you're supposed to be doing in a flip because the house needs it because you got a great deal, there's no way you spend $40,000. So this deal was probably just go in, paint the walls, put little cabinets here, and call it a day. So that makes sense. But they didn't show you the scope of work, the before and after. So let's see this deal now.
So far, we've paid $5,950 in interest only on the first month. The 10 grand we're already over on the rehab. So we've made some progress here.
You put a slider in.
We put it, dude.
You
I
put
had
a
to do it.
slider in
I had to
there.
do it. So what we ended up doing, I kind of went against what you suggested.
You messed up. I'm sorry.
No, I'm optimistic, and
I think the absolute biggest mistake you could have made with this entire project was not creating a private entry to the property.
How do you think it would look if I go against his wishes and have them put the car door anyways?
You're gonna have
Again,
to.
We're over budget. We already put in the money here.
Well,
But he makes
you're not
a lot of
supposed to
sense.
put the money.
This is one of the biggest mistakes I see with flippers or investors, they are so concerned about the budget that the only thing that they could think about is the budget. But when you're making decisions just as strictly on budget and not logic, that's what burns you in the end. Because when you try to sell the house and the house is not designed properly, doesn't have a proper flow, yes, maybe you stay within budget. But if you cannot sell the house for over what you wish for and what you wanted because it was a bad design, bad materials, bad whatever, bad scope of work, then you're gonna end up losing more that route. Yes, budget's important, don't get me wrong, but logistics and floor plan and things that work that are gonna be able to attract a bigger pool of buyers, it is far more important than budget.
Money. It's your house, it's your project. I'm just saying, like, the worst decision that could have been made was made.
The worst, not that bad.
No, it's the
Or
worst.
is that?
What is your vision for this master bathroom? Because in a $3 million price range, like, the master bathroom has to blow people out of the water.
For sure.
I want to go a little bit more risky with the master and do something that's not really cookie cutter. I just love the veining of this black. Gives it more of a sexy vibe, more moody, kind of just like run it up that wall.
Before I keep going, I think I know where they're gonna go. She's trying to be very creative and like she wants to like do something very nice, but in a flip, you have to stay with what's trendy, with what people like, not what you like, what people like, what people are gonna enjoy, what people are gonna go in there and fall in love and gonna pay you more than what you're asking. Now, when you try to be too niche to a design that you like and make it your own, well, guess what? Your buyer of people are gonna reduce. And I think that's where she's going with this. Let's find out.
And then maybe offset it with some more neutral tones on the side.
It has this cool like harmony together. It just seeing it right here, just I think it looks cool.
I think the bathroom design is going to be just perfect. So what is this here?
So this was my idea for the kitchen. I wanted this red oak to run horizontally. And I feel like it's very neutral, very earthy. And then I've got this amazing piece of busy marble I was thinking of using as the countertops. And I kind of also wanted to run it up as a backsplash.
People are ripping oak out of their houses.
We want something that's very unique.
What's throwing me off and what's going to throw a lot of buyers off is the amount of grain. And then add a wild countertop on top of the grainy cabinets.
I don't see it as a problem. I think that the way it runs horizontally, it's so soft, and we've got this amazing marble that's going up the wall.
There's a problem. I think. You never want to think. You want to do your research. You want to ask people. You want to ask communities. What do they think? Who cares what you think? What you think doesn't matter because you're not going to buy the house. You're just investing in the house to sell the house for a profit. Forget about what you think. Do your research, what's selling, and make your decisions on this sign based on that, not based on what you think.
I'm gonna go with trusting her judgment on this one. I have yet to see something that she does that I'm like,
Okay, hear me out. If this goes wrong, it will be the absolute biggest mistake you can make with this house. It's a $3 million house, so it's whether you want to take that risk or not.
I don't want to be someone that's just like following a trend and doing something that's been overdone over and over and over. I'm just going to still keep looking forward and go with the vision that I have.
Okay, clearly they're doing a $3 million house. Clearly, this investor is not there for the investment. They probably have money. They're just trying this out. If I lose money, who cares? I'm gonna do it my way or the highway. And that's fine. If you have the money to burn, by all means.
The space looks amazing. I mean, opening it up, it just came out great.
I love all the windows. I like them black. Do you like them black?
It does look nice.
I do like it black.
Yes, it's very busy.
It's a little bit too busy.
That's what I told you.
There's a lot of things I'm really angry about, and I don't have a lot of room to fix errors. So I need to problem solve some stuff. There are mistakes everywhere. The microwave's in the wrong spot. The cabinets are the wrong size. What I'm
Countertop.
really upset about is these countertops.
We want it white.
Oh, they're two different countertops. This one's like a few shades.
She said the cabinets are the wrong sizes, the microwaves in the wrong location. This typically happens when you skip planning phase, when you have to do the plans. Like a lot of people want to skip the plans in the design and actually take measurements and make sure that the plans are correct. If your plans are correct and you follow those plans, you're gonna have correct measurements, you're gonna have correct things that fit into the things. But when you start doing things without without a good pre-construction phase, without an accurate set of plans, then this is basically what you pay for. This is what you get, and this is the end result on not planning your project properly.
Darker than this one.
Different colors.
Different colors.
How did you let that happen?
This happened most likely because they didn't buy the slab together, or that person that they hired was not the right person for the job. Most likely they went with the cheapest price, and now they pay the consequences because they wanted to save money on the labor to cut the slabs, and this is your end result. But let's see what happened here.
I came over and this was already installed.
Cat will play, you know, when the boss is away.
We weren't here. That's not an excuse. That's not a reason to have the problem. You don't have to be there every day managing the project. You just have to understand what you want and hire the right person so that person understands you, and be clear with the person what your expectations are of the project so that they understand that if they mess up, they're gonna have to come back and redo it again. But this happens from the beginning. Before you hire anybody, you wanna set the expectations from the beginning, and you wanna give clear instructions on what needs to get done.
You can't leave this.
It's gonna cost about
$3 grand.
$3 to tear this out.
We cannot afford to fix it.
Is this paid in full?
Yes,
So you paid him in full before you verified the work.
maybe. Yes, I did.
That's your problem. If you pay them, they're gone. I know 100% there's gonna be at least one buyer that walks through this house that's not gonna buy it because of those counters.
I'm gonna hope people don't notice.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty sure they will.
Well, let's.
I'm gonna hope people don't notice. If you're gonna start a flipping business and you're gonna sell products, you shouldn't think like that. You wanna do things right for the next people to move in, and you have to at least care about people understanding, listen, this is what happened. I'll give you a credit on the sale, but don't hide things. I hope people won't notice. I don't like that.
Lock in the backsplash because Mondo and I don't agree.
Based on the size of this kitchen and the design we have going on, I would go with a nice, clean, white backsplash. That one right there.
I want to try this. Put that up, please.
I mean, that is a really bold blue.
Okay.
Blue.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I think it's gonna work.
This whole theme, this whole all the way
I mean,
across.
Honestly, when you take that turn, all you're gonna see is blue.
blue.
But what if we put white grout?
Still
It's gonna be a busy, bold blue. Liney.
Here is another example of a person just wanna do it their way, don't wanna listen to an expert, don't wanna listen to a pro. They wanna design the kitchen like it was for them. And if it's for you, hey, do your blue, move into the house, but don't try to flip the house.
Gotta bring some color in here.
For me, I wouldn't do that bold of a tile in this space.
White. Get it done. I'll start getting it in.
Okay, I want to try this. The blue.
And they're stubborn, that's the worst part. Stubborn.
I don't know if I'm too fond on the backsplash.
Why don't you like it?
White would have
Yeah.
looked a little cleaner.
I mean, it's definitely a bold choice, but I think it still looks great.
I like the blue. It looks really pretty.
Oh, she likes it.
So you've got 2 doors. Lots of doors.
Now, overall, from what I'm seeing, it looks decent, it looks good. It really also comes down to the price range. If you're selling a house in a $300,000-$400,000 price range, people don't seem to be too needy or too about the little stuff, and some people will basically go around the round countertops and the blue because they like the house and there's not that many options. But you should always try to do things right and try to do what the market wants, not what you want, what the market wants, because you'll get more money like that. You'll have more people overbidding on the price to get the house because they love it. Your goal is to make sure they fall in love.
And it hit the other door. Look at that. Look how weird that is.
3 doors back to back.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's just a poor design on the doors. If you see it, all you had to do was, instead of using swing doors, you put a pocket door. You have no problems with the doors. But again, that counts when you're doing your plan, your design, and think about those little things.
We should have just closed off this wall.
Did you hear that? I could have him say it again.
I've heard it.
All right, guys, well, that was all. Don't make the mistakes that they're making. Can't stop, won't stop. Let's go.